Hello there. Welcome to Just the Dis. Today we're talking about a couple partner label releases from Vinegar Syndrome. It is partner label month, so I encourage you to go over to vinegarsyndrome.com and check out the partner label tab. There's so much happening over there, there's been new announcements for June, some exciting stuff to check out and potentially pick up. I'm going to talk about a couple recent ones from Canadian International Pictures and AGFA, and they are two of my favorite partner labels, consistently putting out interesting, offbeat, strange, in the case of AGFA, but very memorable movies on Blu-ray. And I'll start with the Canadian International Pictures release. This is a double feature, a really interesting one, of Buster Keaton Rides Again and another one called Helicopter Canada. And what this is one disc with two films. You have Buster Keaton Rides Again, which is shot in the fall of 1964, just over a year before Buster Keaton passes away. And it is a really neat movie because it is giving you a real neat inside look at working with an icon like Buster Keaton. And so he's being directed. They're making a color short, I want to say about 20 minutes, called The Railrodder, which is also included here. I'll talk about the features in a minute, but the documentary is great. It's pretty short, but it is a real interesting verite, sort of almost like Frederick Wiseman-y look at the process of making this film. And it's really neat to see Buster Keaton's mind working and his creative process and juices flowing and him offering ideas and doing crazy stunts. The idea is basically that he's a guy on this railroad car that's sort of out of control. And so he has lots of ideas for gags, and it's black and white, and it's really a neat portrait. You know, I really enjoyed seeing him with his wife and just hanging out, collaborating, just really mixing it up for a guy of his age. And so it's really delightful. It's obviously shot up in Canada, and watching the final finished product once you're done is really satisfying. And then Helicopter Canada is really neat too. It's sort of, I guess it was made in the celebration of the Canadian Centennial, and it was Oscar nominated and offers sort of this stunning aerial exploration of the country's vast and varied landscapes. And it says, featuring impressive widescreen cinematography by director Eugene Boyko, amusingly irreverent commentary, and even a cameo by the Beatles, this enchantingly oddball time capsule brings Canada to new heights in honor of this film's debut to the sprawling Cinerama travelogues of the 50s. This disc also includes a presentation of Helicopter Canada in the Smilebox format, which gives the effect of the curved screen. So if you don't know what Smilebox is, it's like it will curve out. So it's almost like, so it's like a smile on the upside and downside. So it's meant to approximate what it would look like to watch a film on a CinemaScope, sort of Cinerama screen, where it wraps around you. And it gives you a better sense of how it would sort of properly look, i.e. it's been photographed to look that way. So when you watch it in anamorphic widescreen, it still looks good and it's still effective and everything, but I feel like there's always just this little something that's off about it. And when you watch it in the Smilebox format, you kind of get a better sense of what it would have been. But it's a really delightful, travelogue. It's just one of those kind of movies, and I always enjoy those. Warner Archive had a great collection of DVDs of travelogues years ago, and they're just always a real treat. And again, pretty short. And Yeah, so this is new 2K transfers from the 35mm inner positives, 2.76 to 1, and Smilebox presentations of Helicopter Canada, audio commentary with Gerald Potterton and David DeValpy on Buster Keaton Rides Again, and The Rail Rodder, so you get both of those, of course. Hors d'oeuvres, 1960, 7 minutes. My Financial Career, 1962, 7 minutes. Christmas Tree Decoration, 1963, 5 minutes. The Ride, 1963, 7 minutes. And The Rail Rodder, 25 minutes from 1965. Plus The Awful Fate of Melpomenus Jones, an 8-minute 1983 short, plus a bonus short, Canada the Land, 1970 from also 8 minutes. So just to read the back here of Buster Keaton Rides Again. In the fall of 1964, just over a year before his death, Buster Keaton traveled to Canada to make The Rail Rodder, a silent short that would turn out to be one of his final films, documenting this mobile production in a fascinating, unexpected detail. Buster Keaton Rides Again offers a rare glimpse of the comedy and the occasional combative creative process. Oh, there's a great bit where Buster Keaton wants to do a certain gag on this really high railroad trestle, and they decide to do it a different way, and you get to see him sort of pouting about it, which is interesting. But they end up doing it his way anyway, and so it's kind of neat. But let's see here. Canadian International Pictures finally presents this intimate look at one of cinema's most enduring legends. In addition, this disc includes The Rail Rodder and 6 other shorts by director and Buster Keaton Rides Again co-star Gerald Potterton. So that is the other shorts that I read off are also included here. So it's just a great disc. This is what Canadian International Pictures does. They put out that great collection of short films, new wave short films recently. They're just putting out, like, again, this sort of like Criterion level package of stuff where you're getting multiple films, short films, commentaries. They're doing it right. So I just really want folks to be paying attention to Canadian International Pictures because they're doing a wonderful job. And then for AGFA, this is really neat. This is one of the first box sets, if you will, I guess it's unfair to say this is not their first multi-film set because, to be honest, most AGFA discs include a second film. It's like almost a common thing that they'll get some shorts or an additional full feature. That's one of the things I love about what they do is they find this weird stuff. In this case, they're pairing with something weird specifically to give you a wonderful collection of the films of Doris Wishman, the Twilight Years. And so this, I'm hoping, means maybe there'll be 2 collections of this because Doris Wishman is a really unique voice in exploitation cinema. She is a remarkable director. She's also known, it's not included here, but she's known for the film Bad Girls Go to Hell, which is a really unique, nightmarish, low-budget exploitation film about a woman who's going through a really tricky time, let's put it like that. And she would, do her best in terms of the budgets that she worked with, but a lot of the films she made were dubbed after the fact. And so some of the tricks she would use would be things like turning people away from camera when they spoke, or in general cutting away from them so you don't have to see like anything being synchronized in terms of people's mouths moving. It's a clever trick. You will start to notice it after a time. She didn't always do that. It's just something I noticed in Bad Girls Go to Hell specifically. But this is a really interesting collection of films here. I always love to just talk about the way that AGFA's presenting it. So they're saying, no one will ever make movies like Doris Wishman made movies. One of the most prolific women filmmakers in the history of American cinema. Writer, director, editor Wishman. That's right, she did it all. Created collisions between surrealism and exploitation that feel like they materialize from an alternate universe. The films of Doris Wishman, The Twilight Years, surveys the last major era of Wishman's career, from Deadly Weapons and Double Agent 73, crime epics starring the iconic Chesty Morgan, to Let Me Die a Woman, a semi-documentary about transgender people, AGFA and Something Weird are honored to present these triumphant DIY treasures in dazzling new restorations. I love that they just always do that. They always restore things and make them look as good as they possibly can. So what you're getting here is a 3-disc set. The first disc includes 2K restorations from the original 35 negative of Deadly Weapons and Double Agent 73. Those both star Chesty Morgan. She's featured on the cover of the Blu-ray set, and those are very unique crime spy pictures with a hugely endowed woman, of course, Chesty Morgan, doing lots of strange things, sometimes hiding cameras under her breasts and things like that. It's a real unique experience, these films. There's really nothing like them, honestly. And we get some commentaries on here. Again, AGFA's really going all out. You get a commentary with Doris Wishman biographer Michael Bowen on Deadly Weapons. And then you also get a second commentary with Bleeding Skull's Andy Choi and Joseph A. Ziemba. So 2 tracks on that. Fantastic. Double Agent 73, you get a commentary with filmmaker Frank Henenlotter, the maker of Basket Case. I'm very excited to hear his comments on Double Agent 73. I actually tend to like Henenlotter commentaries quite a bit. Next up, you have Disc 2, The Amazing Transplant from 1970, and Let Me Die a Woman from 1977. Now, these are also both 2K restorations from the original camera negatives. Let Me Die a Woman has a commentary with artist and porn performer Karda Manir, and theatrical trailers, Twilight Years photo gallery. And then on this third disc, you're getting The Immoral 3 from 1975, and Keyholes Are for Peeping from 1972, and also The Love Toy from 1971. So you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 films in this set. 2K restorations from the original 35 camera negative for The Immoral. Oh, just for all of them. The Immoral 3 commentary with film programmer Lars Nilsson and AGFA's Brett Berg. I enjoy both those gentlemen, so I'm very much looking forward to checking out that track. But it's just such a wonderful presentation. Here's your 3-disc spindle setup. And in addition to that, we have the films of Doris Wishman, Twilight Years, this booklet, which includes Retirement Isn't an Option, Doris Wishman's Twilight Years by Lisa Petrucci of Something Weird herself. You have I Was the Boss with Doris Wishman by Peggy Wesh. So it's an interview with Doris Wishman. It's a great picture. That's very good stuff. And then I think that interview might take up the majority of the booklet. Yeah, so you have those 2 things included here. Words from Wishman herself as well. So really great respect and care given to Doris Wishman's later filmography in this set. One of the newest from AGFA. Highly recommended. As I kind of recommend everything AGFA does, because I really think they are always taking the time and the care to really present things and preserve them so that they don't disappear. And they're the kind of films that I feel like if not for AGFA, maybe they wouldn't find a great release, like not on the level of what they're doing. There's just no way, So I love that they're taking the time to give Doris Wishman her due. And again, I do hope this is part of a series and that we maybe get another Doris Wishman collection in the future. I have no information about that specifically, but I just wanted to talk about these 2. And again, recommend you head over to Vinegar Syndrome, check out the partner label tab, and see what's happening over there. It's lots of good stuff. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.